the Icemen the victor. And now Whale off the wall, tries to get it out, pinching his Nychuk, activating from the point, but Brown's able to take it away and send Martin in motion. Down the middle he goes, feed to the right, Brown centers, and they flub on the shot. Puck is swept away. Burns with room, 2-on-2 up ice. Burns from the left wing shoots, that's blocked by Hislop. Loose puck in front, swept away by the Icemen. Brown takes it up ice again, barreling down the right wing, chip play off the wall. Septenfelter comes out to slow it down and give it to Les behind the net. A fine Burns on the left wing. The Mercyhurst product angles it off the near wall on time for McNamee. They'll punch it a bit deeper and get off for a line change. Iceman looking up ice, stretch pass on the money for Griffin. Centers for a chance in front for Burke, and Septenfelter makes the save, but they draw a penalty there with 9:34 to go, and Jacksonville's going back to the power play. And I beg your pardon, that was actually TJ Friedman that was cutting to the net there. Made a great play to draw the penalty. And the Icemen will have a chance to once again snag their 2-goal lead back as Corabia takes a seat for the Gladiators. Jacksonville 3, Atlanta 2. We are back after these messages.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
3-2 Jacksonville lead, and they have a chance to add to it. Dylan Corabia in the box for the Gladiators. Off the last whistle, 2 minutes for slashing. Gladiators back to the PK. Jacksonville already with a power play goal here tonight. It is their latest goal from Craig Martin. But the Gladiators start this PK with a good clear off the face-off, and Jacksonville forced to start from the back end. Whale slingshots Martin into action. A brush it to his left for Brown. Return to Martin. Sneaky shot from the goal line. Hits the side of the cage. And now from the right wing wall, Griffin sets it back to Martin. Exchange at the line to Whale, and they'll work off the right wing wall. Whale from the point takes a shot. Blocked on the way, and that tumbles into the near corner. Gladiators get a piece of it. Does spring deeper. Jarvis to the line. Doesn't escape the zone. Martin to the left wing for Griffin. The return feed almost impeded a bit by Cipollone, but it does make its way to Martin. From the left circle, sauces down low. Brown to the line for Whale. Cross ice on time, but you've got a whistle with 1:03 left on the penalty to Corabia.
Yep, it's going to be on Jacksonville here. Joey Cipollone lost his stick, and then the Jacksonville Icemen pushed it away from Cipollone so that he couldn't get it. That's going to be interference, and we're going to play 4-on-4.
And keep in mind, the Gladiators' last goal from Jack O'Brien was scored on a 4-on-4. And we will skate that way for the next minute and 3 seconds. And think back to that goal, Andrew. The two guys that came over in the same trade from Iowa, Orzek and O'Brien, combined for that goal. What a trade that has been for Atlanta. O'Brien now up to 8 goals and 4 assists in his 15th game with the Gladiators here tonight. Puck tumbles out to center. Young will take it in on the left side. Shuffles it to Sylvester. In motion, pulls up in the corner. Quick pass to Les at the right point. Find Nychuk in the middle. Van Wy putting on some pressure. Almost forces a turnover. Extra stick from Duhart. Not enough. Nychuk hangs on. From the right wing, creeps a bit deeper. Centers for Sylvester. The puck is knocked off his stick by Duhart. Racing back is Young to keep possession for the Gladiators. 25 seconds left on the 4-on-4. And the Gladiators will have about a minute on the power play. Cross ice, Young grabs it, he shoots off the outside of the net underneath the near circle. Icemen take the puck in, 10 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Off balance, Friedman couldn't haul it in. Ended up getting back to his knees and springing it across. Iceman dumping in, and now the Gladiators are on the power play for the next 55 seconds as Carabia has rejoined the game. Francis in on the right side, but well offside is McNamee. Jacksonville got a touch on that puck. Delayed things for the Gladiators and thwarted their plans. Face-off coming up in the neutral zone with 46 seconds left on this Gladiator power play. 7:21 left in the second period. On the ice now for Atlanta, Orzek, Burns, Francis, Cipollone, and McNamee. McNamee on the left side off the face-off victory. Steers it to the right wing where Burns gets a touch on it. Behind the net, McNamee once again. Chops it up to the left point for Orzek. Drifting right finds Francis. Return to Orzek. Now at the left circle, it's McNamee. Back to Orzek, manning the line. McNamee again. Orzek once more. The right circle for Francis. Now to McNamee. From the left circle, goes across looking for Burns. And a great active stick by Lord Anthony Grissom sends the puck out of play with 15 seconds left on this Atlanta power play and 6:50 to go in the second period.
Yeah, really good stick there by Grissom. Right idea by McNamee. He's looking for Mickey Burns far side for a one-timer. And Grissom with a great active stick in the lane chips that one out of play.
First power play unit comes on for the Gladiators. Off the face-off, puck jumbles to Leinonen, although looks like we're going to get a do-over here. I'll put 2 more seconds back on the clock, so 15 seconds remain on this Gladiator power play. It'll be Young to duel with Brown at the circle. And off that draw, the Gladiators have won it. Right point, Nychuk moving to his left. Backhands it to Young. Right point shot. And he scores! His stick breaks, and the puck ends up in the back of the nets. No stick, no problem. Alex Young has tied it at 3.
Just an absolute change-up in there on Leinonen from Alex Young. Looks like he's going to load up and rip one. The stick breaks, and it just slides through the 5-hole. And the Gladiators tie it up.
That might be the only instance I've ever seen where a player's actually happy that his stick broke. You're right, Andrew, it's a changeup. Leinonen just couldn't read it because that shot came off so awkwardly because the stick broke. Just slid across the floor into the back of the net, and Young has tied it at 3. Incredible. Might be one of the wackiest goals I've ever seen. Brand new game. Jacksonville once had a 2-0 lead back at the end of the first period, and the Gladiators with a big second have tied it at 3, and there are still 6 minutes and 12 seconds left in the middle frame. Alex Young with a goal here tonight, now has goals in back-to-back games. Scored on the power play on Wednesday night. Jacksonville trying to take the lead back as Hardy puts a floater on goal. It's kicked away by Sempenfelter. Nolan over the red line, moves into Jacksonville territory. Nolan shoots, fought off by the shoulder of Leinonen. And now Jarvis sets up Scardina on the left circle. Stick from Van Wy forces him to the outside, and now an extra chop from Jordan helps the puck through the neutral zone and into Atlanta ice with 5:34 to go in the second. So Young's 15th of the season comes from Nychuk and Sylvester to make it a 3-3 tie. The puck will go out of play with 5:20 left in the second period. And Atlanta, with back-to-back goals from O'Brien and Young, has tied it at 3. We're back to Gas South Arena after this.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous. available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee Ward, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Alex Young's 15th goal of the season from Chad Nychuk, and Cody Sylvester on the power play has tied the game up at 3. Jacksonville had a 2-0 lead until 2 minutes and 21 seconds into the second period when Cody Sylvester scored, and the Gladiators have now outscored the Icemen 3-1 here in the second period. And you know, the interesting thought on that power play goal for the Gladiators, Andrew, was there was 15 seconds left on that power play, and Matt Ginn still trotted out the first unit. Sometimes teams will just let things go and send out another line, but the Gladiators stuck with it. As a centering feed for Cipolo makes its way to Leinen, and he'll pounce on it with 5:11 to go in the second.
Yeah, Guy, I feel like Gladiators have had most of the momentum in this second period, aided by a couple power plays and 4-on-4s. But as you said, outscoring the Icemen 3-1 in this period, they've really kind of seized control of this game in the second period. It's been great to see.
Yeah, the Gladiators this season have really come alive in the second and third periods, as the Gladiators have now outscored their opponents 45-33 in second periods this season. Loose puck in the near corner of the Jacksonville zone. Condada's going to skate it free. Has Duhart barreling down the right wing for a backhand shot, and doesn't make its way to the net. Great back check by Francis. Jarvis in the area as well. As now the puck hits the skate of the linesman, sets up a chance for Jacksonville. Cross ice feet to Duhart, and it's just over his stick. Boy, did the Gladiators catch a break there. Duhart in the near corner, keeps things going for the Icemen. From the end wall, Yoder snaps it up. Gladiators punch it out to the neutral zone. Cipolone overskates it. Friedman pulls it in for Jacksonville. From the right wing, off the wall, has Hardy on the fly. Make that Patosha. He'll cut towards the net. Semptimphelter able to take away the angle. It is now Patosha from the left wing. Steers it to the right. Hislop gets there, beating out Jarvis, who's lost his stick. Hislop sidestep, takes a shot from the circle. That goes off a body and out of play with 4 minutes left in the second period. And the shot count reads 19-15 in favor of the Icemen. Gladiators here in the second period have outshot them 8-7. Faceoff will be to the left of Semptimphelter as the first line will step on the ice for the Gladiators. Cody Sylvester, great night so far. 1 goal and 1 assist. He's now over a point per game against Jacksonville this season. Now up to 4 goals and 4 assists in 7 games. This is the 7th meeting. As we have a discussion going on at ice level, and I'm not quite sure what this could be. Looks like there is something going on near the Gladiators bench. And it might be in the second or third row of the stands. Is everybody looking in that area? I'm not really all that sure what's going on over there. But hopefully everything's all right. I'm not sure. I can't recall, Andrew. Did that puck go out of play and hit a fan there? I'm not.
It went out of play down in the Gladiator zone.
There is a woman in the first row behind the Gladiators bench that is in need of medical attention, and that is what has put a halt to this game. And I'm not going to speculate as to what this may be, but we're going to keep her in our prayers and hope that she's all right. Scary sight at Gas South Arena And both teams have put a stop to the play here. And this building has simmered down to a murmur. And again, we don't want to speculate as to what is going on here, and the camera, rightfully so, in the arena is pointed away as they tend to the fan in the first row behind the Gladiators bench. Right behind where Ethan Hyder, the backup for the night, is situated on the Gladiators bench. And no props to the officiating crew here for stopping this game, as a very serious medical episode is happening. And again, we will keep the fan in our thoughts and prayers as this is all going on, and we will step away here on the Gladiators broadcast network for a moment as they take care of this matter here at Gas South Arena. 3-3 game. Icemen and Gladiators are tied. 4 minutes left in the second. We are back in a moment on the Gladiators broadcast network.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you. Satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Welcome back to Gas South Arena. 4 minutes left in the second period. 3-3 tie. Gladiators have scored 3 times in the second period. The Icemen won. Gladiators rallying from behind 2 to tie this game at 3, but this game has been put on pause for a moment as there is a fan that is receiving medical attention in the first row behind the Gladiators bench, and we're not going to speculate as to what the cause may be, but we are going to keep this fan in our thoughts and prayers and hope that they are okay. And it does appear this fan has regained consciousness and again is receiving medical attention from our great staff here at Gas South Arena and our medical partners as well. So they are tending to that matter. And again, the game has been put on pause by our officiating crew, and rightfully so, as they tend to this situation. And during this matter, the Gladiators and the Icemen both just mulling around on the ice. Got a couple guys on the bench, but everybody trying to stay loose with 4 minutes left in the second period when this game does eventually return to action. And so, Andrew, got a bit of a stoppage here, and it's hard to pull away and talk about the hockey game that we've seen here tonight, especially when something this serious is going on. But the Gladiators in this second period have put together a very good period. Down from 2, entering it, to tying it at 3 after it. And it looks like they're going to clear the benches here, and we are going to go to an intermission. And so it's unclear whether or not they'll just call this the second intermission and add the 4 minutes to start of the third. We will read that information to you when we get it. But for now, the benches are cleared and both teams are headed off to the locker room as this fan receives medical attention. And this delay has gone on for a while, maybe 5 minutes or longer. And so with so little time remaining in the second period, they are just going to send both teams to the locker room. And we will provide an update on the situation when we have it. For now, we will call this the end of the second period. And so to recap, for those of you just joining us, the Gladiators and the Icemen are tied at 3. 4 minutes left in the second period. The game put on pause as a fan in the crowd is receiving medical attention from our great staff here at Gas South Arena. This delay has gone on for quite some time, over 7 minutes, I would say, at this point. And because of the time remaining in the second period and the length of the delay, they are sending both teams to the locker room for what is likely going to be the second intermission. So it will likely tack on the 4 minutes to start the third period, and we will call this the second intermission. And so we are going to step aside. Gladiators and Icemen tied up at 3. 4 minutes left in the second period, but we're going to call this the second intermission. We are back in 1 minute to talk about the game when we come back.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Gladiators and Icemen tied up at 3 here at Gas South Arena. And for those of you just joining us, there is 4 minutes left in the second period, but both teams have been sent to the locker room for what is likely going to end up being called the second intermission, as a fan in the stands appeared to have a medical episode and needed some serious medical attention. And so that delay has gone on for about 10 minutes or so. And so because of that, and with such little time remaining in the second period, they have sent both teams to the locker room, and this will be the second intermission as they tend to this fan. And we're going to keep this fan in our thoughts and prayers as she receives the great medical attention from our arena staff here at Gas South Arena, as that fan has since been escorted out of the bowl. And again, we keep that fan in our thoughts and prayers as this is taking us to the second intermission. And so, Andrew, it's likely that we will see an extended third period here, something that usually doesn't happen very often, and this, under the circumstances, is something that we hate to see. And, you know, it can happen every which way. You know, something like this, which, again, you never want to see, or sometimes like a pane of glass breaks, and ice crew has to come on and fix it, and the delay is so long that, you know, with such little time left in the period, makes it for an extended next. And so, you know, again, we hope that this fan is all right, and it's tough to get back to the hockey element here, especially after seeing something like that. And we're not going to speculate or describe what was really happening there in full detail, because, to be quite honest, I didn't quite catch it when it first happened. But again, we're going to hope that this fan is all right as we bring you back to the hockey side of things. And so it was a great second period for the Gladiators, Andrew, and through 16 minutes of period 2, the Gladiators rally from 2 down to tie this game up at 3. Kind of walk me through how they did that, because momentum really was in Jacksonville's favor after one period, and the Gladiators get a quick goal to start the second, and they kind of run from there.
Yeah, as you said, it's all about momentum, Guy. The Gladiators came out in that second period and had a much better period than they did in the first period, obviously outscoring the Icemen 3-1 in that period. The Gladiators came out hot in that second, and it started with who you and Shelby predicted at the end of the first intermission and early in that second period. It was Cody Sylvester getting the Gladiators on the board. He had a great opportunity earlier in the period, received a great stretch pass from Isaac Walter, came in on a breakaway, missed the net, and then he's able to put one in the back of the net. Sylvester scoring from Cipollone and Ryan Francis. It was a great cross-ice feed from Ryan Francis, and then to Sylvester. Sylvester and Cipollone go in on a 2-on-1. A great backhand pass from Cipollone to from Cipollone to Cody Sylvester back door. And Sylvester is able to get the Gladiators on the board. And then the Icemen come back out. Craig Martin on the power play. Gladiators take a penalty there. Craig Martin gets a pass cross ice from Adam McMaster, walks in all the time in the world, and he's able to pick his spot, scores on Seppenfelter to restore the 2-goal lead for the Icemen, and we were at 3-1. And then we go and play a little 4-on-4 hockey, and Nolan Orzek finds a puck up at the blue line, makes a little spin move, looks like he's going to lose the puck, regains possession, and then slides one through 2 defenders over to his teammate for the whole season with Iowa and now in Atlanta, coming over in that trade together, Jack O'Brien. And O'Brien's able to put one by Leinenen, and the Gladiators made it 3-2. And then Alex Young on the power play. Puck comes up to Alex Young in the high slot, and Alex Young breaks his stick on the shot. Just a complete change-up, and it fools Leinenen, and we had a tie game here.
And that goal might be the only instance I've ever seen, Andrew, where a player was actually happy that his stick broke, because as you mentioned, right off that goal was scored, that it really was a change-up on Leinenen, and young stick breaks as he commits through the follow-through that shot, and the puck, instead of going up, just slides on the ground into the back of the net, and Leinenen just isn't able to read it in time. Totally catches him off guard.
Leinenen, after that goal, he just kind of watches it go through him, and he just kind of throws his hands up like this, like, what the heck was that just got through me? It was just a really good break for the Gladiators and a bad break for the Icemen that ends up tying this game.
And Alex Young, palms in the air as well, just, I guess.
Yeah, we'll take
him every way we can get him. I mean,
they don't ask how, they ask how many.
That's right. And Alex Young has 15 goals on the season. How good has he been, Andrew? I mean, this guy, his first full season with the Gladiators, and it really felt like coming into this season, he was destined to have a good year.
Yeah.
It felt like if anybody was a breakout candidate to have a big season this year, it was Alex Young. He came over in the trade with Ryan Francis at the deadline last year. Had a good start with the Gladiators, but really not enough time to really get his skating legs under him and really get the wheels turning as a part of this team. Goes through training camp with the Gladiators, starts the year with Atlanta, and he starts in a big way, and now he has 15 goals on the season.
Yeah, playing up on that top line with Sylvester and Walter. And if you remember, that was the spot that Louis Boudon was playing with before he left. So Young, he's come in, and he's really taken that spot that Boudon was playing in, and he's really using that opportunity to his advantage, and he's been playing great for the Gladiators recently. It's been great to see for Alex Young.
Alex Young off to a great first half of the season. Young now 15 goals, 20 assists, 35 points, this being game number 41 of his season. And let's talk about his line mate when we get a chance, Cody Sylvester. And we talked about coming to this game how it felt like he was due. It had been a bit of a dry spell for him as of late, picking up assists here and there. But for Sylvester, he is a goal scorer at his very best. And for him, 9 goals coming to this game on the season. It had been a while since he had scored his last goal, which came on January 17th against Greenville. And so for Sylvester, it's been a long time coming. He has 2 points in that second period, a goal and an assist. What have you liked about his game so far here tonight?
Yeah, I think he's just really playing with a lot of pace. We all know Cody Sylvester. He's a really smart player. He knows where to be on the ice. He's a veteran. He's done this a million times. He knows what he's doing out there. But he's really been playing with a lot of good pace. We saw it early in that second period. Loose puck near the Gladiators' blue line. Sylvester recognizes that Isaac Walter is going to get it, and he sprints past 2 Icemen. Walter with a great pass hits Sylvester on the breakaway. He goes in, obviously not able to finish on that opportunity, but then he springs a 2-on-1 with himself and Cipollone. And Sylvester, the smart player he is, he knows he's got Cipollone with him. Sylvester goes to the net. Great pass by Cipollone, and he taps in the backhand. So for Cody Sylvester, it's what's always made him great, being consistent, being smart, and playing with pace.
Yeah, and there were 2 things that really stood out to me on that shift that led to the eventual goal, Andrew, and that was, 1, the speed of Cody Sylvester on that shift. I mean, that was the fastest that he had looked all night long to me, and it showed on that shift, and just the awareness of knowing where to be on the ice to create the initial play with Walter, and then the second one on the finish from Cipollone. Cody Sylvester using that veteran presence there on that shift leading to the goal. Seems like he is into this one, and that is big for the Gladiators as they look to now take the lead in the third period.
Yeah, you know, he's the captain of this team. The team came out obviously a little sluggish, being down 2 in that period, and he dragged his guys into the fight. And it's just great to see from the captain dragging his guys into the fight and get this game tied for the boys.
So the Gladiators have rallied from 2 down to tie the game up at 3 after a big second period in which they outscored the Icemen 3-1. Sets the stage for an exciting third period here from Gas South Arena, and this third period will be a 24-minute third period. For those of you just joining us, the second period ended short with 4 minutes left on it as a fan in the lower bowl received medical attention from our great staff here at Gas South Arena. That fan has since been carried out and is being tended to, and we keep them in our thoughts and prayers and hope that they are going to be okay. And that is the reason for the early second intermission and the extended third period to start. And so I'd like to give a big thank you to our medical staff here at Gas South Arena for helping that fan out, taking care of the situation. And again, we hope for everyone here on Press Row and within the Gladiators organization that that fan is all right. We'll be back here at Gas South Arena for the second half of the second intermission after this from our local partners.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Here at Gas South Arena, Gladiators and Icemen all tied up at 3 here during the second intermission reports. This game impactful for both sides here tonight with 2 points on the line. Gladiators at first in the South Division looking to continue to soar to new heights as they look to distance themselves between the Florida Everblades who are in Savannah here tonight. For the Icemen, they are at 7th place in the South Division, trying to pick up 2 points and snap a 4-game losing skid to climb closer to the playoff picture. And so it makes for a good matchup here on a Friday night at Gas South Arena. The Gladiators are off until Wednesday when they go to Greenville to take on the Swamp Rabbits at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. It's a well-deserved little bit of time off after the Gladiators played 5 games in 7 days last week and then had to come back home on the back-to-back against Greensboro and Florida, and now they get Jacksonville here tonight. They won't play again until Wednesday. As for the Icemen, they will head to South Carolina tomorrow night for a 2-game road trip in the second game of it before they head back home next week for some pivotal home matchups on their schedule. And with that, let's get to the out-of-town scoreboard here on a busy Friday night in the ECHL. We will start our journey around the league in Savannah at M Market Arena, the home of the Savannah Ghost Pirates. And the Ghost Pirates currently sit in 4th place in the South Division. And remember, the top 4 teams in each division make the Kelly Cup playoffs. And we are getting closer to the end of the regular season. Gladiators playing in game 41 here tonight. For Jacksonville, this is game 42. And over at In-Market Arena, the 4th seed Ghost Pirates hosting the 2nd seed Everblades are up 2-1 at the start of the third period. Savannah scores the first 2. Tristan Amonte has both goals for Savannah as Florida's lone goal came from Logan Lambden, 8:17 into the second period. And we'll keep an eye on that one as if the Gladiators win here today and the Ghost Pirates do the Gladiators a favor, Atlanta can have a 3-point lead over the Everblades at the end of the night if the Gladiators are able to cap off this comeback. Over in Maine at Cross Insurance Arena, the Orlando Solar Bears have gone north. The Maine Mariners host Orlando, and after 2 periods of play, Maine has a 4-3 lead over Orlando as the Solar Bears, much like Jacksonville, trying to climb their way back into the playoff picture. Orlando playing game number 45 here tonight, running out of games on their schedule, but they have been better as of late, winners of their last 3. They are just 4 points back of Savannah for the 4th seed in the South. And coming up later on the night, it is the Idaho Steelheads hosting the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Greenville also on the upswing lost their last game in a shootout to the Steelheads, but they've been picking up points here and there, and they are also 4 points out of the final playoff spot in the South. And Greenville does have games in hand. This is game 40 on the season for the Swamp Rabbits, who will take on the Steelheads coming up later in the night. And so, Andrew, playoff picture heating up here in the South, and every night is a big night for 2 points. Obviously, you want to win night in and night out, but it really feels like the Gladiators this season have done very well in the matchups against the top teams in the division. I mean, they are 4-1 against Florida this season. They're 4-2 against Jacksonville. They're 2-1 against South Carolina, but this is a Gladiators team that seems to have risen to the occasion in the big games. And the question now is, in a trap game, sluggish start, can they find a way to pick up what should have been an easy 2 points for them to start against a Jacksonville team that is trying to right their season?
Yeah, well, if they play anyway like they did in that second period towards the end of it, they will most likely complete this comeback. The Gladiators came out in that second period, and they really, picked up their game from where they were in the first period. They really took advantage of this Jacksonville team, and they really came out, played their game, and I loved what I saw from the Gladiators in the second period. But you said, these are teams that you're going to be seeing in the playoffs, the Floridas, the South Carolinas, the Savannahs, and having good records against those teams bodes very well for the Gladiators if they eventually meet these teams in the playoffs later this spring.
Gladiators outscored the Icemen 3-1 in the second period to tie this game up at 3, and the Gladiators have been just as good scoring-wise in the third period this season, and actually even better defensively. They've outscored their opponents 42-25 in third periods this season for a +17 goal differential. That is their best period of the season. And for the Icemen, their third periods have not been kind to them. They have been outscored by their opponents 49-36 in third periods this season, Andrew. And remember, the Gladiators were trailing by 2 after 1 period of play. Now they are tied after 2. The Gladiators, when tied after 2 periods of play, are 5-2. The Icemen are 5-3. And so it still is anybody's game heading into the third, but it really feels like, Andrew, after that big second period that the Gladiators had, the momentum is in their favor. And I think the first 5 minutes of this third period are going to be very telling as to how this game might end.
Yeah, obviously that second period ended very abruptly for both teams. We weren't able to fully finish that second period, so it's going to be interesting to see how, with an extended third period, how these teams come out and how they kind of combat that playing a longer period in this third.
And for the Gladiators, this third period is going to start with 24 minutes on it, because that was the amount of time that was left at the end of the second period that was called due to the medical episode in the arena. And so, you're right, it's going to be a bit of a longer period. And for the Gladiators, they've played a lot of hockey as of late, but they have risen to the occasion. And, Shelby did an interview with Ethan Hyder last night where Hyder was asked, how do you prepare for a back-to-back like that? I mean, how do you play and just keep going game after game and just prepare yourself for a back-to-back? So much hockey in such a short span. And, the answer was you kind of have to trick yourself into thinking that it's not that big of a deal. And so for the Gladiators, they have been good in back-to-back game sequences this season. They have been able to somehow, some way go out and win games in such a tight span. Remember, they went 5-1-1 on that road trip. They played 7 games in 12 days. Incredible feat by these Gladiators. And so again, here tonight, they're really going to be put to the test. And I think, Andrew, again, I think the first 4 or 5 minutes of this third period, if the Gladiators can get the momentum swing in their favor, I think they have this game under control to start, but they have to find a way to do something in the early going here. You can't let Jacksonville take that momentum back.
Yeah, you said it exactly. You got to come out early in this third period, grab momentum, whether that's a really good shift in their zone, a big hit by the Gladiators. You got to do something to chip away at the Icemen and take this momentum into this third period.
And we are just about set for the start of the third period. Step aside for 1 minute here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Atlanta's hit the ice. Jacksonville soon to do the same. Big third period awaits, all tied up at 3.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee Ward, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Gladiators and the Icemen all tied up at 3, heading into the third period. Atlanta down by 2 to start the second, rallies to tie the game. This third period going to be a big one, and it's going to be an extended third period with 24 minutes on it. Remember back earlier in the game, for those of you who are just joining us, a fan in the lower bowl behind the Gladiators bench experienced a medical episode towards the end of the second period with 4 minutes left. And so they will resume the final 4 minutes of the second period with a face-off to the left of Semptimphelter and add that to the start of the third for a 24-minute third period of play. And that decision was made due to the lengthy delay as that fan received medical attention. We keep that fan in our thoughts and prayers, as they have since left the venue to receive further medical attention. It's O'Brien to take the face-off against Brown to the left of Semptimphelter in what is technically the end of the second period. And a snapshot off a face-off victory from the Icemen goes out of play with 3:56 left in the second, but as I mentioned before, they will just continue on into the third period once the buzzer runs out on the final 3:56 of period 2.
It's got to be a weird start for TJ Semptimphelter, coming right onto the ice and immediately has a face-off in his own end.
And the Icemen twist this puck to the line, and McNamee is able to take it away. Muscling down the left wing, cuts to the inside and finds less. Down low, Burns, shoots, save made, Leinonen. And on the doorstep, O'Brien robbed as Jacksonville twists it back to center. And that play by McNamee, underrated, Andrew, because the Icemen had an offensive zone faceoff to start this period with a lot of rest out of the intermission. Gladiators able to take that away and set up shop in the Iceman end.
Yeah, it's a big first shift for the Gladiators, just getting out of their zone there to start.
Puck behind Leinonen. O'Brien with the steal on his forehand. Goes behind the net, pops out in the near corner. Tries to reverse back to the trapezoid and does. Whale defending him. He's able to chip it to Sylvester. Climbs up the left wing wall and sets up a shot by Carabia. Deflected in front. Walter was there. But Leinonen able to fend it off as the Icemen come rumbling back out to neutral ice. Carabia handles for Atlanta. Slots it to the left wing for Young. Backhand feed has Sylvester on the run. Cross ice to Walter. His shot goes wide, flubbed off the stick of Condada. Sylvester has the puck at the line. Carabia a shot angle off the end wall. Walter behind the net, able to outwork Condada. Slithers to the far side, puts it up top to Orzek. Over to Carabia, but it bounced off his stick. Has to chase it down in the near corner. Flings it back up top to Orzek. Long shot, deflected wide of the net. Walter turns it to the left point. Sylvester couldn't handle the hot puck. It'll roll out the center, and the Gladiators forced to dump it in, and the first line will get off for a change. Third line comes on to forecheck as the Icemen roll the puck down to the Atlanta trapezoid. So Semptimphelter comes out to play it. The enemy chucks it to the neutral zone for Cipollone. Tried to hit Francis in motion. Pass a bit behind, but he's able to work his way in. Slides it across to Jarvis. He'll swat it to the corner for Cipollone. Set up to the inside for Denemy. Is cut off by Grissom. And the Icemen come out to center. Friedman dancing to his right. Floats it to the right wing. Hislop off the wall looking for Hardy. He's cut off by Cipollone. Gladiators jam it to the line, but not out. Friedman to the goal line. Centering feed. Hits the skate of Yoder. Gladiators skated up ice in transition. Here is Denemy from the left wing and called offside. Looked like Cipollone stretched out his leg to try and stay onside, and that one was close, but the Eagle Eye linesman closed the play dead with 1:16 left in the second period.
Yeah, close one there. Tough break for the Gladiators, but really good shift there by that first line. Sylvester, Young, and Walter with some really good ozone time there. As we said at the end of the second intermission, you want to try and build towards some momentum here early in this period.
Neutral zone face-off won by the Icemen. It is Craig Martin who has a goal here today for Jacksonville. Scrubbed off the puck. By a good forecheck from Nolan. Les chips it forward. Delayed offside on the Gladiators. They're forced to tag up. Icemen have the puck, and now a stick breaks. Sets up a chance for a pelt from the left wing. Tries to haul it in. Puts it behind the net to Nolan. Centers for a shot off the crossbar from Scardina. 44 seconds left in the second period. Chuck sees the puck breezed by him on a Jacksonville icing with 37 seconds left in the second period.
Another really good opportunity for the fourth line. Appelt not able to handle the puck in the corner with Nolan driving to the net. But eventually the puck ends up on the stick of Ethan Scardina in the high slot, and he rips one off the crossbar. Really good shift by that Gladiators fourth line there.
Ethan Scardina robbed by the Iron. Scored his first professional goal on December 5th against these Icemen in Jacksonville. And actually was a shorthanded goal from Scardina, his first in the pros. As McNamee dances behind the net, throws it up to the right point for Les. He'll trade places with Nychuk. Nychuk pivots to the right circle. Puck deflects to Burns. Langle it off the wall to O'Brien. Drifting left. Flings it to an open area. Was pressured by Brown. 15 seconds left in the period. Jacksonville in on the right side. Pops it behind Semptimphelter. Nychuk grabs it. Swiped it to his right. Burns to the inside. Has Les on the fly. 2 seconds left. Fans urging him to shoot, but not going to get a chance as time winds out on the second period. And we will jump right into the third here after this media timeout. And so we are back in a minute for the start of the third period. Gladiators and Icemen all tied up at 3 at Gas South Arena. We are back after this.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you. Satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
For those of you just joining us, we're going to roll right into the third period as with 4 minutes left in the second period. A fan in the concourse needing medical attention, leading us to a lengthy delay as they received attention from our great medical staff here at Gas South Arena. And because of that delay, both teams were sent to the second intermission early. So we came back, played through the first 4 minutes of the third period, went to a 2-minute break, and now we will leap right into the third period here at Gas South Arena. Gladiators and Icemen all tied up at 3 apiece. Young will take the center circle face-off against Garrett Van Wy. And we are back for the third period in Duluth. Puck is smacked into the Jacksonville end. Van Wy behind the net, shaken down by Sylvester. Puck pinned up in the corner as now a centering feed goes to Walter. He is shut down point blank by Leinonen. Now it's Jacksonville's turn. Duhart from the left wing, forced to peel up a bit. Top of the left circle. Puck is washed away by Young. It'll go behind the net. Jacksonville gets it back. Van Wy checked off of it by Les, and now Young will handle. Traded off to Nychuk. He moves down the middle. Pass intended for Young, hit a skate. Moving up ice is Friedman. Borzak, great defensive play. Gets in front of his plans, and now the Gladiators will handle behind Semptimphelter. Long pass to the right wing, on the money for Young. From the red line, having trouble handling it, just trying to waffle it into the Iceman end. Gets cut off by Whale. Goes down the middle and is forced to the far corner. Carabia with the defensive stand. Puck is swatted on the near side. At the point, dancing is Hislop. Has some separation for a pass down low. Batosha has it jabbed away by Denemy. Great active stick there for number 18 in blue. Gladiators trying to escape their own zone. Jacksonville has other plans. Hislop from the goal line on the far side. Tries to pivot away from Denemy. Tries to slide it along the wall. McMaster between his legs has his pass intercepted. And now moving up ice is Francis. From the left wing, leaves it for Cipollone, and his shot goes wide. From the far corner, Francis delays, centers for Denemy. Off balance, couldn't get the shot away. 2-on-2 up ice. Jacksonville has the puck. Batosha gains the red line and will just loft it down as the Icemen get a change in.
Yeah, really good defensive shift by that third line there of Denemy, Cipollone, and Francis. Did a really good job keeping the Icemen to the outside and then generated some pretty decent offensive opportunities towards the end of that shift.
Nolan operating out of the right wing, puts it to the line for Yoder. Return pass. Nolan digs out of his skates, but Iceman able to strip it away. Now dancing down the right wing is Martin, and he and Jarvis collide. Puck goes deeper from the end wall. Scardina shuffles it to the far corner, but leaps into the air. Ping-pongs to Scardina, and he will just slither away from the pressure along the left wing out to the neutral zone. He'll gain center red, and now Jacksonville blue. Pop it off the wall, try to chase after it himself, but Leinonen gets in front of it. Jacksonville carries through their own end. Big check at the end wall by Scardina. Gets the puck back for Atlanta. Below the goal line, has it swiped off of his stick by Grissom. Scardina hustling, trying to get it back at the line. Nychuk keeps, centers for Burns. His shot goes wide. Jacksonville finally able to jolt it out to center from center circle. Griffin will just pound it in and get off for a change. Pass up ice, intended for O'Brien. Jacksonville gets a piece of it. McNamee has the loose puck on the left wing. Tried to slide by Hislop. Nychuk helps out, digging deeper and centering. Les from the right circle shoots. That hits a stick and goes wide. Burns activating from the left point just to put some pressure on. Iceman shimmy it to the left wing, off the stick of Duhart and down. No icing. Van Wy meets it at the end wall. Nychuk there as well. Van Wy able to shake him down. Pass through the slot. Hits the far wall. Grabbed by Hardy and sent down low to Duhart. Duhart from the trapezoid. Getting some help from Van Wy. Able to escape. Van Wy puts it to the line. Cross ice to Hislop from the right point. Tries to charge towards the net. Pivots away and shoots. Hits a skate in front and goes wide of Semptimfelter. Battle for it in the far corner. Gladiators come away with it. Moving up ice is O'Brien. He will gain the red line and just shuttle it down to the Jacksonville end wall. Gladiators in the midst of a line change. First line on the ice. Jankowski barreling towards the net, has his shot blocked. Now Orzek from the left wing puts him on his backside as Atlanta tries to force the puck out to center. Sylvester caught in a turnstile. Sees the puck fly by him off the end wall. Gladiators punch it back out to center. Jacksonville's there to meet it. Batosha looking to create some separation. Corabia having none of it. Thwarts his plans with a big check. Puck rolls around to the near wall. Young able to grasp it, floats it to the line. Able to get it out to neutral ice where Friedman returns it to Atlanta's zone. Behind the net, Orzek working with Corabia. Being pressured by Friedman. Centers, pass to the line for a shot. Hits a stick and goes over the head of Semptimfelter. Been a while since we had our last whistle. 14:43 left in the third period. Orzek from the right corner. Just to bang it out of the zone. Burke, shot from the left wing over the head of Semptimfelter. Held in at the right point. Whale has it for the Icemen. Acquired in a trade with Indy early in the year. Centers, hits Semptimfelter and pops into the air. And the netminder from New Jersey is able to snag it with 14:24 to go in the third. Gladiators and Icemen all tied up at 3. We are back to action here at Gas South Arena after this from our local partners.
It's It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
All here at Gas South Arena. 14:24 to go in the third period. Guy Carenzo alongside Andrew Fleming. This one's been a wacky one. Gladiators rally from 2 down to tie 3-3 at the end of the second, and we have a goaltending change for Jacksonville out of the break. Michael Bouillon, who was the backup to Pius Leinonen, has come in relief. And the cause is uncertain. He comes in cold as a shot by Martin gets to the goal front, and Semptimphelter dives on it for a whistle with 5:43 gone by in the third. And Andrew, I can't quite put a finger on as to why this change might have been made for the Icemen other than a potential injury to Leinonen in his Jacksonville debut.
Yeah, well, we saw an equipment issue with TJ Semptimphelter a couple weeks ago. This might be something like that because Leinonen isn't even on the Jacksonville bench right now. He's gone down the tunnel.
Shot by Martin. We'll keep an eye on that situation as the third period rolls on. Jordan from the neutral zone puts it in. He actually hits the referee. He's able to get back up to his feet as a big check is thrown on Denemy in the near corner, and Semptimphelter's off to the bench. We've got a penalty here with 13:52 in the third, and Andrew, I think we're just scratching off just about everything on the bingo card here.
Yep.
I don't quite know what in the world is going on here tonight, but it seems like something's in the air here.
Yeah, this penalty is going to be on Hislop for that hit on Denemy in the corner. Gladiators back to the power play with a chance to take the lead here.
And remember, as you noted before, Andrew, moments ago out of the break, Michael Bouillon, the backup to Leinonen here tonight, is in for this Gladiators power play. Power play brought to you by Eco Electric. Gladiators have already scored once on the power play here tonight. Alex Young got his 15th goal this season as the Icemen clear on the opening faceoff to start the man advantage for Atlanta. Gladiators see their fourth power play chance as Young has another twig break on the zone entry.
This one not as lucky.
That's right. He scored his goal on the power play off a broken stick. This is third of the night. Is barreling down the middle is Walter from the left point, steers it to Nychuk. Around the horn he goes to O'Brien as the first unit looks to set up shop. From the far corner, O'Brien off the wall, tries to knock it to the point. Does make its way to Young. Now O'Brien centers, great active stick by Jordan. Able to intercept the pass, and the Icemen will clear with 1 minute left on this Gladiators power play. Atlanta with a chance to take the lead on the man advantage here as we approach the midway point of the third. Burns down the middle, puck is swatted away. Second unit on the ice in the second half of this power play. Orzek will get a lay of the land. Pass it to his right for Francis, and away he goes. Francis with speed, jabs it to the trapezoid. Bouillon out to play it, almost turns it over, hurls it to his left. McNamee puts it to the line. Bouillon back in position as Orzek feeds it to his right for Francis. Francis scanning, throws it down low, takes the return feed and slides it to the line. Now McNamee from the left point returns it to Orzek up high. He'll take a shot, hits a leg, and goes out of play with 13 seconds left on this Gladiator power play and 12:05 to go in the third.
Yeah, you know, Bouillon coming into this game cold. The Gladiators haven't really tested him yet. You got a goalie who's been sitting for 48 minutes so far tonight, and you haven't really tested him yet. You got to get some more pucks on this guy. He hasn't seen a puck since warm-up. You got to test this guy now.
Face-off on the near circle. Second unit on the ice. O'Brien, Nolan, McNamee, Orzek, and Francis. O'Brien will take this face-off against Brown, and off that draw, the puck will shimmy to the trapezoid. Icemen pick it up from there and float it down the ice, and that will do it for this Gladiators power play. So nothing happening there. Back to even strength. Out of the box is Hislop. Atlanta has possession at center circle. Nolan to the left wing for O'Brien. He'll skate into it and shoot. Stick save Bouillon, and that puck goes out of play with 11:39 on the clock. And I actually really like that shot from O'Brien there, Andrew. Sneaky low-line drive and forces Bouillon to really think about that one and make a good stick save there.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I like the idea by O'Brien. He doesn't have much going, not really any passing lanes for him there. He's got a lane to the net, and he puts a puck on net there on a goalie who's coming into this game cold. I really like the idea by Jack O'Brien there.
Face-off in the near circle. Jacksonville's won it. They scramble out to center. McMaster from the left wing chips it to the inside, looking for Grissom, and Jarvis with good defensive coverage there lets the puck roll into Semptimfelter, who stops time again. Face-off will be to his right. So entering the night, our goaltending matchup was Tapias Leinonen, the former second-round draft pick of the Buffalo Sabres, against TJ Semptimfelter. It has since changed to Michael Bouillon, who was the backup to Leinonen. And interestingly enough, this is the second straight game that Bouillon has come in relief for the starting netminder, as the last one was in the 7-0 loss Jacksonville suffered to the Ghost Pirates. Bouillon stopped 19 of 23 in that game, coming in relief for Cameron Rowe. Van Wy on the right wing grabs the puck, cuts to the inside and shoots. That goes off the outside of the net. On the left point, they'll go across to Jordan. One-time shot gets deflected on the way, but Semptimfelter reads it all the way through and absorbs it like a sponge. The stop time with 11:03 to go in the third.
Yeah, it looked like that one might have been deflected by Semptimfelter's teammate Carson Denemy there on the way in. Semptimfelter reading that one all the way in off the deflection. Makes a sneaky hard save there, keep this game tied.
And here tonight, we will keep an eye on Tejas Jordan, the defenseman for Jacksonville. And the last time that these two teams were tied in a critical game in Jacksonville, the last time the Icemen beat the Gladiators, it was Jordan that scored the game-winning goal. And for some reason, he's been red hot against the Gladiators this season. He only has 12 points on the season, 4 of those in the 6 games prior in the season series against the Gladiators. 1 goal and 3 assists. Van Wy climbs up to the line, cross-ice feed away from Whale. That'll jumble out to the neutral zone, and Iceman will just pound it down and get a change in. Meanwhile, Nychuk quickly to lessen up ice. Away from the intended target, McNamee, no icing. From the right wing, Burns hauls it in, sets up Nychuk for a blast. Save Bouillon, the puck is loose. Jacksonville sweeps it away. I really like that play there, Andrew. Gladiators crash the crease. Bouillon didn't have enough quite time to make the save, as now a shot from Friedman is kicked away by Semptimfelter. Now a long bid goes into his glove, and time stops. Maybe thought about playing that puck, but he didn't. And the whistle blows, and afterwards a bit of a skirmish there.
Yep, this game's starting to open up a little bit here. A little bit of up and down action here. First, a nice shot on net by Nychuk from the point on Bouillon. Kicks out a rebound. Gladiators just not able to find it. Then the other way, a couple nice saves by Semptimfelter.
These two teams will see each other again in this building on February 27th, and we'll get a whole lot of love in the month of March. 4 meetings in March between these two teams, and it all happens within the span of 10 days. So these two teams are going to get to know each other very well down the home stretch of the season. As the Gladiators off the defensive zone face-off, bang it out to center. Here is Walter from the left wing. Pulls up a bit and shoots for a kick save by Bouillon. Pass across is flung through the slot. Walter grabs it at the right point. Had some space, but that quickly evaporated. They'll put it down below the goal line. Now Orzek activating from the left point, keeps the play alive on the near side. Walter to Orzek at the half wall. He'll trade places across to Carabia from the circle, shoots, hits a stick, and goes away from Bouillon. Sylvester was there. Now in the near corner, Hislop able to peel it away. Chips it to his left for Petosia. Lurking in the neutral zone is Friedman, as Petosia just gains the red line and wires it in and gets off for a change. 9:22 to go in the third period. Orzek had to hit a little chip pass to Sylvester. Puck ends up trickling down, and Gladiators make a line change. Loose puck on the near wall. Cipollone racing after it. Gets a piece of it, but Martin and the Icemen able to handle. Here is Jordan up ice. Quick feed to the left wing. Griffin pass to the inside. Goes out of the slot. At the line, long bid from Martin. Goes over the head of Semptimphelter. Now behind the cage it is Griffin. In his first game with the Icemen, as the puck divorced from his stick, and the Gladiators able to muscle out to center. Jacksonville ladles it to the trapezoid. Semptimphelter hurls it into traffic in the near corner. Jacksonville back on it. Scoots it to the line. At the right point, Brown quickly passes across. Here is Godata for a shot that gets blocked in front of Semptimphelter. And Jarvis will clear through the neutral zone as Atlanta gets fresh bodies on. Third line comes off. Fourth line comes on. Appelt bottles up the Icemen on their zone entry on the near side. 8:12 to go in the third period, as Les from the left wing chips it off the glass to Appelt. Flings it further for Scardina. He'll scamper into the near corner. Swiping at it, finds Appelt on the far side. They'll put it to the line. Les, stutter step to his right, glides down the wall, puts it around the net to Nolan in the near corner. Nolan on his forehand, stumbles, puts it to the line, cross ice, Les to Appelt. Exchange on the right wing. They sauce it around to the near corner again. Good ozone time here for the Gladiators as Nolan looks to keep it alive. Board battle at the left point. Nychuk keeps it in. Drifting right, feeds it to Les. Back to Nychuk. He will shoot, and that shot goes wide. Has his own rebound at the left point. Sidesteps pressure from McMaster. Goes around the net and is just unable to hang on to the puck. Iceman wash it free and turn it over. Appelt fires and it goes over the goal. Les with the rebound, puts it to the trapezoid. Icemen are tired here. Gladiators fueling a new man on. Les off, McNamee in. Nychuk at the left point, can't keep it alive as the puck bounces out to center, and now the Icemen are able to get a full change in.
Oh, what an opportunity for Riley Appel. Turnover by the Icemen in front of their own goal. He grabs it in alone and just misses the net wide.
Burns, below the left circle, comes to the inside, and the puck rolls off his stick. Looks to center, but it hits a body. Van Wy gets in front of it. Now from the end wall, puck pops into the air. The pop fly simmers down on the left wing. At the line, Orzek shoots, save made, Bouillon. Rebound goes to Burns. From the right circle, he shoots. That shot gets blocked. Held in at the line by Carabia. Pressure coming. Icemen take it away. On a breakaway, it's Hardy, and he's offside. Game of inches. Jacksonville tried to hit the home run play. Almost pulled it off. We're still tied at 3 with 6:13 to go in the third period, as we are set for an exciting race to the finish in this one.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, we made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down, we go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
3-3 tie with 6:13 to go. Jacksonville scored the first two. Atlanta rallies back in the second period to tie the game up at 3. Icemen led 3-1 at one point. Gladiators have the most recent goals in this game from O'Brien and Young back in the second period. Offensive zone face-off for the Gladiators, who have really done a nice job of hemming the Icemen in their own zone here over the last few minutes. We'll see if they can get the go-ahead goal off of some more pressure here. Walter out the face-off, centers, hits a stick on its way to the slot. Icemen scoop up the loose puck and jam it through center. Arabia flags it down. Exchanges with Young on the right wing. They'll send the puck barreling to the left. Off the wall, Sylvester trying to hang on to it. Griffin in the area as well as Jacksonville strips it free. Bandana from the left wing, angles it off the end wall, puck loose in the near corner. Griffin gets a stick on it. Young does as well. He'll shuttle it to Carabia, who angles it up ice, looking for Walter, but that pass offline, icing on the Gladiators with 5:28 left in the third.
Yeah, you said it right when we came back from break, Guy. Gladiators these last couple of minutes have done a really good job of generating offensive zone opportunities. They've really pinned the Icemen in. They just got to capitalize on one of these opportunities. Not for lack of trying. They're getting their looks. They're just not able to capitalize on them so far in this third period.
Face off to the left of Sentenfelter. Alex Young to take the face off against Friedman. Gladiators able to wrestle out the center. Walter off balance. Chops it to the trapezoid behind Bouillon. Now the Icemen move up ice, cross ice feed, ends up being an icing as it did not reach the intended target on the pass from behind the red line. And so now it's an offensive zone face-off for the Gladiators with the third line on the ice.
And this third line's been good for the Gladiators all night. Denemy, Francis, and Cipollone, they've been generating chances all night. Look for them to have another good shift here late in this third period.
Face off to the left of Bouillon. Icemen send the puck into the far corner, into the final 5 minutes of the third. Jacksonville able to strip the puck free. Moving up ice is McMaster. Already has an assist here today in his Jacksonville debut. Coming over in the trade from Tulsa on Wednesday. Jankowski along the right wing. As the puck shaken down by Denemy. Puts it to the neutral zone. Cipollone from there. We'll just rim it around the boards to the trapezoid where Bouillon will slow it down. Icemen look to break out here. Pass to the right wing. Taking it in is McMaster. Chips it deeper into the zone and heads off to complete a change. Iceman center for a shot. The dangle from Hislop kicked away by Sentenfelter. 2-on-2 up ice. Francis down the middle, forced to the left wing. Pulls up at the point and shoots. That hits a stick and stays in play in the far corner. Pelt hustling there, looking to keep it alive. Takes a couple of whacks at it, but ultimately Jacksonville able to scoot it out to center. Jarvis with the puck over the red line. Lobs it in on the left side. Again, Bouillon out to play it. Helps it along to Condata. Quick reverse play, and Jacksonville is off and running. Y on the right wing tries to reel in a pass, just a tad too far ahead. Gladiators get a piece of it. 3:28 to go. Icemen forced back into their own end. As now they try and charge through center. From the right wing is Potosha. Carabia defending, sends him to the end wall. Nolan joins the play as well in the far corner. Puck soccered at by Potosha. Gladiators able to swipe it to neutral ice. Carabia on the right wing to Nolan. He'll make his way to the goal line, and get a whistle here. 2:51 left in the third. We are back to Gas South Arena, which is a 3-3 tie between the Gladiators and the Icemen after this from our local partners.
Life's too short for ordinary risky. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Wacky night here at Gas South Arena. This game has had plenty of twists and turns, and we now apologize for an issue on the FloHockey website. Appears the game is down on FloHockey. Not sure if you can still watch it on YouTube as well. We've heard rumors of that. We didn't know about that before the start of the game, but for those of you on Peachtree Sports Network, thanks for sticking with us in this wacky one and on our YouTube audio stream as well. And they are actively working on the issue on the FloHockey.tv website. Gladiators slam the puck in deep. O'Brien from the corner, checked along the boards by Jordan, but he's able to hang on for a moment. O'Brien muscling, able to escape for a second. Jordan's got him pinned up at the end wall now. And off the wall he goes to McNamee, and the Gladiators keep possession. Nychuk from the left wing. Trades it off to Burns. Slap shot, kick, save from Bouillon. Through a screen, just kicks out that right pad to make the stop as the Icemen send the puck tumbling to Atlanta ice. Nychuk up ice to O'Brien from the blue line, rims it down to the trapezoid. Bouillon helps it to the far side. Pinching there is Walter. Gladiators looking to press here with 1:55 left in the third. Young through the neutral zone, drifting to the red line, pounds it into the near corner. Sylvester waiting for it. Contested by Hislop. Jacksonville trying to emerge. Walter gets a stick on it. Karabia thought about pinching, but thought the better of it. Gets back defensively. 3-on-2 for Jacksonville. As Condata from the right wing, caught up to by Jarvis, shuffles it to the far side. We're working up top is Brown. Turns and shoots. That's blocked by Walter. Loose puck for a long bid. Swept away by traffic in front. Now it is Griffin sliding it down to the end wall. Brown tries to scuttle away from Jarvis. He's got him all wrapped up, and Atlanta with possession will turn up ice. 1 minute left in the third period in this one. All tied up at 3. 53 seconds left. Jacksonville with possession. Long pass off the stick of Martin. It'll be tracked down by Orzek. He'll connect with Nychuk. Looking up ice, has Denemy on the left wing. Francis in motion, works with Denemy. Pass across for a shot by Cipollone is blocked. Francis behind the net, hauls it in. Trades it off to Cipollone. He'll put it to the line. Orzek looking, tried to take a shot, but that's blocked by Friedman. Puck goes out of play with 29 seconds left in the third. And this face-off is going to be to the left of Bouillon. And the personnel on the ice right now for the Gladiators is the third line. Cipollone, Francis, and Denemy, with Orzek and Nychuk manning the back end. And I feel like, Andrew, if you can win this face-off from Cipollone, set it up to Nychuk, you have some options.
Yep, certainly.
Cipollone tasked against Van Wy. And Van Wy does win it for Jacksonville. They pound it through the neutral zone. Chasing after it is Orzek, being pressured by Duhart. Is able to beat him out for the icing. And so we'll do it all again with 22.4 left in the third.
Yeah, just reset it, burn 7 seconds, and we'll go back right to the same spot. But as you said, pretty important face-off here for Cipollone. if you can win this faceoff here, you got an opportunity to to put one on net here late in this one.
Face on to the left of Bouillon. Cipollone against Van Wy again at the dot. And Van Wy has it taken away by Cipollone. Powering to the net for a shot is Francis. Second opportunity goes wide. Bouillon made the initial save. Now at the right point, it is Nychuk. Spinning with 7 seconds to go. Taken away by Duhart. He'll slide it the length of the ice. Not enough for an icing. And we will go to overtime. In the ECHL, it is a 7-minute overtime period, 3-on-3. Both teams have earned a point. Jacksonville now up to 37. Atlanta has now hit the 60-point plateau. And now we will play 3 aside to find out who gets the extra point here tonight. Gladiators have been money in overtime this season, 6-1 record in OT. The lone overtime loss came to the Stingrays in the first game of the road trip on January 23rd. John Fusco scored the overtime winner for the Stingrays in that one. For the Icemen in overtime, the Icemen this season are 5-2, and they are 2-1 on the road. The Gladiators have not lost an overtime game in this building yet this season. Gladiators here at Gas South Arena this year are 3-0 in overtime. And we'll see who they send out to start the overtime period. And it appears it is going to be Sylvester, Nychuk, and Young to begin the overtime session for the Gladiators. For the Icemen, it is going to be Martin, Whale, and Brown. Last time the Gladiators won in overtime was that thriller 5-4 final from South Florida. Isaac Walter scored the overtime winner, and that one in a game where the Gladiators came back from down 2 to win. We'll see if they can do the same here today. They trailed 2-0 and 3-1 in this game to tie it at 3. And we will see if they can get the job done here in overtime. Young to duel against Brown to kick off the extra frame. And the Icemen win the opening faceoff. They will start overtime with possession. Martin swings out to the right wing, motors through the neutral zone. Martin pulls up at the line, spinning, creates some separation, feeds it to the right circle. Waiting is Whale. Cycles to the left side from the circle, peels back a bit, and will just shuffle back out to the neutral zone. Martin flies in on the right wing from the circle, centers, looking to get a stick on it. Was Brown, but it leapt over his stick. Iceman forced to roll back out to center once more. Overtime these days is very much possession-based until one team loses a hand on it, and then the transition game takes effect. We haven't got to that stage yet. Jacksonville has had all the possession here in overtime to start. Hislop at the right point, throws it across to Van Wy. He'll delay and shoot, and it's blocked by Sylvester. Hislop with the rebound, scrambles to the left circle. He'll go around the net to the far corner, and Young tries to squash him off of it. And he does, but it's picked up on the right wing by McMaster. Cross-ice feed to Van Wy. Shot is turned away by Septemfelter. Lost his stick to make the save, but the only thing that mattered was the puck was held out. 5:42 to go in overtime, and an opportunity for the Gladiators to take possession for the first time here in the extra frame.
Yeah, you just said it, Guy. Overtime is a game of possession, and the Gladiators haven't touched the puck once in this first minute 18 of overtime. Really good job by Jacksonville, maintaining possession, bringing it back out into the neutral zone when they feel they need a reset. Really good start to overtime for the Icemen. Gladiators need possession here.
Defensive zone face-off. O'Brien tasked against Friedman. Jacksonville's won another. Jordan from the left point scans the ice, chucks it across to Griffin. From the right point, back to the left wing to Friedman. Drifting right at the line, ships it down deeper and turns it over. 3-on-1 up ice for Atlanta. Orzek to O'Brien, kick save Bouillon, and we play on. O'Brien's got it back from the left circle. He'll go around the net and center. Francis scores! You can call it a comeback. The Gladiators come from 2 down, and Ryan Francis calls game in overtime. Ryan Francis, his 50th career pro goal, is the game winner, and Atlanta wins 4-3.
Well, they didn't need a lot of possession. They force a quick turnover, grab the puck, set up Francis in the high slot for a one-timer, and this one's over.
The Gladiators had possession in overtime for maybe 10 seconds, and it comes off a turnover. Jacksonville had possession for almost 2 minutes here in overtime and couldn't do anything with it. Turnover leads to the chance up ice, 2-on-1. And the goal is under review. Of course. Of course it is. And I'm wondering what they could be looking at here, Andrew.
I would think maybe goaltender interference. It looked like O'Brien or Orzek might have been caught up in the crease with Bouillon. Bouillon doesn't think this is a goal. He's still standing in his crease. He's been standing in his crease since the puck went in.
So they're going to go to the iPad and check this one out. For Francis, if it does end up standing, and he does have the game winner, it would be his first goal in 19 games. I've been snake-bitten, picking up assists in that span, but I've been sitting on that first goal in a while, and his 50th in his pro career. If it stands, it's the game winner. If it isn't, we go back to playing, and if I'm correct, Andrew, with the goaltender interference, would this lead to a penalty against the Gladiators?
I'm not sure if it's just a goaltender interference. Well, actually,
we got a verdict here. It's a goal! Francis's overtime winner is good! And the Gladiators win 4-3 in overtime. This game had just about every twist and turn in the book. The Gladiators win a wild one. Final 4-3 in overtime, trailed 2-0 and 3-1 in this game, and they've scored 3 straight, including the overtime winner from Ryan Francis, to win by the final score of 4-3. Absolute cinema here from Gas South Arena. Atlanta wins a wild one, and they pick up their 30th win of the season. Gladiators soared to 61 points on the season and a 30-10-1 record. The Icemen do pick up a point in the loss. They are now 17-22-3 on the season. Coming up next here from Gas South Arena, 3 stars of the game. For those of you on Peachtree Sports Network, we will bid you farewell. Look again to seeing you back next time as the Gladiators take this one by the final score of 4-3. I'm Guy Carenza saying good night and so long for Andrew Fleming and Shelby Rabideau here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network on Peachtree Sports Network. And for those of you left on whatever's left of FloHockey and here on our YouTube live stream where we're having some fun, as we always do, you get some Gladiators after hours. I mean, I can't even count on one hand, Andrew, all the wacky things that have happened in this game, and we might be here all night long for the post-game recap, but we're going to get to the 3 stars of the game here as we will take a look downstairs for the 3 stars. Third star is Craig Martin for Jacksonville, and he actually did have a really good night for the Icemen. Ended up with a goal and an assist for the Icemen here in this game. Second star of the night is number 16, Cody Sylvester. As the captain finishes the night with a goal and an assist. As the Gladiators get the 4-3 victory in overtime. And Sylvester's gonna give his stick away to a young kid in the first row. That's awesome. That's way cool. Captain Cody leading the way. Here's your second star of the game, and your first star of the night with the game-winning goal in overtime to complete the comeback. It is Ryan Francis. His fourth of the year is the game winner. And the Gladiators have won an amazing game, 4-3 in overtime. Francis finishes the night with a goal and an assist. Had the apple on Sylvester's opening goal for the Gladiators back at the start of the second period. He is downstairs with Miss Emma Harp. We will tap in and get his thoughts on the win. That is Ryan Francis, your first star of the night with Miss Emma Harp. And if I heard correctly, Andrew, I believe he actually broke a lace on his skate, taped it up sometime during the game, and it worked out pretty well. He ends up scoring the game-winning goal, and the Gladiators soar to 30 wins on the season. And they win this game in comeback fashion by the final score of 4-3. Incredible.
Absolutely. It was a wacky night, but Gladiators dug deep and got it done.